Those that nope the heck out of a relationship. What was your? They are probably crazy. Red flag moment? After dating this girl for about a year, her parents surprised me with a contract stating I would propose to my girlfriend within 3 months. I thought my girlfriend would share my concern, but she actually thought I was being irrational for not signing. Nope the heck out of that one and later blocked that entire family from my life in every way I could. The contract included a specific date by which I needed to propose with a diamond ring. There was nothing written in regards to what happened if I broke the contract, since they assumed I'd sign and propose without question hesitation. After we broke up, her parents threatened with legal action I don't know what for, but that was enough to convince me to cut all ties with that family. She bit me twice, once on my arm and then on my ass. These were not fun, love bites. We were in an argument, and the crazy broad got violent. Took a chunk out of both places. I finally slapped her so she would release her jaw from my ass. She was shocked. She called the cops. They showed up and arrested her. I was the one bleeding after all. Hope she was convicted of aggravated assault. I didn't wash a bowl in the sink before work, I said. I went to do it but got distracted and I didn't. He decided to teach me a lesson by speeding the car up, and then slamming the brakes on and stopped before hitting the car in front of us stopped at the lights. He turned to me and said, I was going to smash into them, but I didn't. Yeah, he didn't last long after that. It was weird, and looking back it didn't make sense what he said, but it scared the shit out of me at the time. I called her pretty. She did not like this. She got quite angry, then tweeted something to the tune of, "Every girl deserves to be called beautiful every day." She thought I had to pay for everything when her friends tagged along. Made her friends hate me and we broke up later. Just curious, did her friends end up hating you because she told them you weren't paying, or because she gave them other reasons? Because if those are the type of friends that think they are entitled to a free ride, you're well rid of the entire lot of them. It was because I refused to pay for them and argued that I wouldn't at all. Then she argued me that I should have paid it for them. So her friends hated me and made everything worse. My ex said if I was locking the bathroom door, I was probably hiding something from him. And a couple of times he pretended to break up with me to see my reaction. When I cried, he laughed at me and said he was glad I cared about him. What a mature 30-year-old man. I'm glad he is not a part of my life anymore. Of course you are hiding something, bodily functions, which are 100% normal to hide. I had a girl request that we have sex outside, in the woods. We met online naturally. Anyway, we head out to a nice spot and do the deed. She begins sobbing after. I ask her if everything is alright, and she reassures me that it is. Then proceeds to tell me about how she was raped in the woods a couple years back while continuing to sob. Were you unknowingly part of some weird, relive your trauma to deal with it, therapy session? I don't know, but it was absolutely insane. Odd, but might that not be some sort of homebrew aversion therapy? Overlaying horrible memories in the woods with nice ones, or something? Might have been, but I knew at that moment that I wasn't equipped to handle whatever it was that she was going through. After she told me her story, she sat there just sobbing for like half an hour, and thanked me after. It was the weirdest shit. She pulled out a knife and started running in circles around the house with it. I was on a bus back home the next day. I guess I should provide a little context. Right before that, she was mad about something her cousin had done, so she came in to complain to me about it. I was busy reading Harry Potter and not listening to what she was saying, so she hauled off and punched me in the balls. She immediately had my attention. I jumped up all, "What the fuck?" and she started to try to punch me. I grabbed her by her tiny wrists and stopped her. She settled down a little and I let her go. Then she went and grabbed a knife and started circling the house. In the end she said she wanted to cut herself and not me, but I wasn't cool with any of that. We went to an amusement park, and she demanded we rode the same ride 4 times in a row and would throw a fit any time I suggested anything else. The line for that ride was over 2 hours each time, and we basically waited in lines for the whole day. I was admitted to hospital after nearly having a heart attack. He texted me, asked what I was up to. I told him I was in emergency care, that I had almost died, and I was extremely upset. It was 2 a.m. He replied, "Cool. Bye. Almost having a heart attack." I meant I passed out, got taken to the hospital for a cause, and there had to get potassium infused because it was extremely low, and I was informed there was over a 90% chance I'd have had a heart attack, and 50-ish% chance it would be fatal. At least he didn't go. Damn lol. I can almost understand, damn lol, because sometimes shock will make you say the weirdest stuff. But, cool? Really? No. He wouldn't let me eat more food than him. In the end of our relationship, he would measure my food every time I tried to eat. I hadn't been eating for 2 days because I was scared to make him angry and tried to make a meal and took 1 deciliter, more than I was allowed, and he flipped the fuck out. He was crazy as fuck but thought I was the crazy one. Last I hear from him, he still faked having Asperger to get money so he wouldn't have to work. Classy. I thanked her for advice that she had given me by texting, "Thanks for the advice," and she flipped the fuck out, asking me why I always have to be so sarcastic and passive-aggressive. She could not believe that I legitimately thought it was thankful. Don't remember what it was anymore though. He yelled at me and accused me of cheating because he found another man's pubic hair on my toilet seat. It was dog hair. He still didn't believe me when I got the dog and compared its fur to the hair found on the toilet seat. I'm just picturing your dog using the toilet, and then when you find the hair he thinks he's caught, but then he hears arguing, and he knows his secret is safe. Man, I was such a dumbass. So many warning signs. She used to disappear and not come home at night, not answer her phone, etc. Then, she got pregnant and broke the news by telling me that she flushed her birth control. I respect a woman's right to choose, so now I have a lovely 12-year-old daughter. I still didn't leave. When my daughter was born, she started doing the same thing again, drinking, screaming, etc. I broke up with her, and we started sharing our daughter 1-2 and 1-2. A bit later I transferred to university, and stupidly decided to give it one more shot. After living at uni with her and our daughter, I found out all of her trips back home were to have an affair. I was like, what the fuck, I am in college, work 2 jobs, take care of the baby, you know. So I noped out. I have had full-time custody of my daughter for 10 years, and her craziness gave me the best gift I have ever received. I mean, are you sure it's your daughter? Not trying to be a dick, but given the info provided, 100% says science, and anecdotally, she is in every conceivable way. She looks just like me, her voice is like mine and the women on my side. Without a doubt. Her mom is just crazy. Ex of 3 years started suggesting the idea of having a threesome. We lost our virginity together, so I figured she just wanted to branch out and have some new experiences in a respectful and mutually beneficial way. Nope. She just wanted to test my loyalty and got pissed at me for being interested in her suggestion. Tried to run me over with my own car. In her mind it was my fault though. Why did she feel justified in doing that? She thought anything she did while she was upset didn't count. For the most part that took the form of screaming at me over stupid things. It got to a point where I ignored the screaming. Anyway, she injured her shoulder skiing one day. 2 doctors, one of whom was my dad, and 1 physio told her that there wasn't anything wrong with it. I'm not a doctor, so I assumed 3 opinions meant it was fine. A year later her shoulder still hurt, so she went to another physio who determined she had a torn rotator cuff. She underwent treatment, but after a few sessions she still had pain. After one of these sessions she was supposed to pick me up in my car because her car was in for service that day. Traffic on the way was worse than she expected, which upset her. And her shoulder pain was also my fault because I didn't tell her to get a 4th opinion right away. So you see now that I deserve to die. Well, after explaining it like that, sure, perfectly reasonable. Not even dating but going out on a few dates, and over text message goes, "Hey, I just wanted you to know that I've had many past partners. I've probably slept with at least 30 guys. Now I don't judge and I don't care," so I replied with, "Hey, that's cool, it doesn't bother me." She flips and goes off. "I don't give a fuck what you think. I wasn't asking permission from you. Why then do you bring it up? I don't give a fuck." By the way, we were 16 years old and still in high school at this point. I was 15. She wanted a negative reaction. She threw a dund eye at my plasma TV when I was just trying to have a nice dinner party with my coworkers. She told me I had to be okay with the fact that her and her 2 brothers sometimes fuck and have been doing so since they were little kids. Nope. He went through the messages on my phone twice. Each time was after a fight because he knew I would have ranted to my friend about it. Then he tried starting a fight about what he read. Got harassed by him for 3 months after I ended it. Only stopped when I had to get a police officer to go tell him he's not to be anywhere near me anymore or contact me. Found out his first girlfriend got a restraining order against him for the same reasons. Especially frightening when you take into account we were only 17. Accusing me of trying to poison him by putting a cockroach in his coffee. Do you have a similar story? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.